The Biden administration is apparently forgiving diverse students their student loans at a disproportionate rate. We got to talk about that, friends. U.S. is also now apparently funding the Taliban. $2 billion given to the Taliban. Grocery store out of bananas. And we have a cucumber recall. Decaf coffee disappearing, and more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. These are your reports coming in from all over around the United States and all over the world. Thank you for sending them in. If you have something to share with the rest of the group, please do pop it down in the comments down below on this video or any video on this channel. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in there, and that gets it to the right place. Make sure you also give us a geographical location if possible. Before we dive in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help us, anyone who has a retirement account, to get into gold, silver, or platinum out of stocks. If you have annuities, whatever you have in your 401k or IRA, you can move over into gold, silver, or platinum. And now, as Jonathan just shared with us yesterday, you can actually get prepper cards, which is a silver and soon to be gold that you can break off the little pieces and actually use them for trade. That's a really big thing. That's really interesting. We'll be talking to him more about that. But you can put that into your IRA or 401k so you can get that distribution when you need it. Croat Inify says that there is a cucumber recall. Salmonella in 14 states, including Pennsylvania and North Carolina, as well as others. So if you're just getting some cucumbers out there, you might want to check to make sure that they are not being recalled. There isn't a brand associated with that. They were harvested down in Florida, so be aware of that. But they get shipped all over the place. The U.S. has now given over $2 billion to the Taliban since our defeat. I mean, withdrawal. The censors over there are telling me I need to say withdrawal. Word is we're talking about $180 million per month. Because why wouldn't we pay our enemies? Why wouldn't we pay the bad guys? We fought, what, 20 years against these guys because they were the horrible, we got to stop them from taking over. Now we're subsidizing them once they've taken over. I mean, the United States can't help ourselves. I mean, there isn't an evil enough empire out there that we can't give foreign aid to. We're giving it to Pakistan. We gave billions and billions of dollars to Iran. I mean, like, what evil country in the world has not received foreign aid? You say Russia? No, Russia's received foreign aid from the United States. Has North Korea? Yes, they have. Who hasn't gotten foreign aid from the United States? It's absolutely ridiculous. The only people not getting aid are Americans. That's the only people not getting aid from America. TP6 says, I talked to my daughter in New York. I asked her about her college loans. She said the government bundled all the loans into 2 batches and then sold them. Well, not the right kind of people if the government's selling your loans to the private entities instead of just forgiving them like they are for the diverse folks. The group that has her loans only has an email and no phone number. She says it's difficult to get a hold of them concerning payment issues. She says all of the young people with college loans, all the non-diverse folks with college loans, know Brandon is lying because the government doesn't hold their loans anymore because they've sold them off. Why is it that certain ethnicities seem to be getting their loans forgiven a little faster than other people? We just saw the mayor of St. Paul, Minnesota had his loan forgiven, but funny how certain people aren't getting their loans forgiven. Might see something in that. Am I stirring the pot a little on that one? Yeah, I am. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens about that. Michelle says, I did an online order at Meijer last night, and my shipped shopper told me that they are completely out of bananas. When does a grocery store not have bananas? I know, friend, that truly is bananas. She says, I've never seen that before. I haven't seen that very often. I mean, I've seen it where I looked at the bananas and I'm like, I ain't buying those. But out of them that's a different story. Bonnie says, Southeast Pennsylvania, Sam's Club, no decaf coffee. No instant decaf, no ground decaf, no pods decaf. Interesting. Miniatures. Joe from Wyoming says, I just got another update on Privet Hatchery. I was told by the same feed store that orders from Privet that they culled all their ducks, turkeys, and of course geese, all because a neighbor tested positive for bird flu. So now the situation for me adding to my Pomeranian goslings is even more dire because that breed is critically endangered and no one else has them. Very disappointing to know that the parents of all my geese from that hatchery are now gone. Bird flu. Yes, yes. And notice how it's always like there's a farm nearby that tested positive, and that's why they culled all their chickens or their goslings or whatever. And yet, not even a test positive, just there was a positive test at a neighboring farm or something. We've heard this stuff before. Sounds quite suspicious. Jan in Allentown says potting soil this year is pretty much all mulch. I tried 2 different brands, Miracle Grow and Stay Right. The Stay Right was garbage, 3-inch long sticks and even some stones, but was mostly more mulch-like product. The Miracle Grow was pretty much the same minus the sticks and the stones. So, you know, you get what you pay for when you pay extra. You get fancy mulch instead of mulch with sticks and stones. While the prices are only up slightly, the quality has dropped considerably. A number of my garden-oriented neighbors have observed the same thing. You guys seeing that with the potting soil out there? I haven't bought any yet this year, so let me know if you're seeing that too. We're a lot lower quality. John at Mercy Heart Hospital, that covers all of central Iowa, has been sending emails telling us their whole phone system is down. Obviously, all these those cyber security people they have been training for the past 30 years didn't work. I should have gotten into hacking instead of AI. We would all be richer if we had gotten into hacking, that's for sure. If we were in hacking, we probably would have had some Bitcoin, right? Kind of wishing we had all jumped on that bandwagon. I mean, you ever thought about that? Like, if I actually got in a time machine, what would I tell my younger self? It's like the only thing I'd need to tell my younger self would just be like, buy Bitcoin. When you find it, buy Bitcoin. Michael says, I know you're not a beer drinker. I am not. But this needs to be talked about. Over the holiday weekend, I bought some beer for a party. Many beer brands have switched from a 24 bottle 12-ounce case to 20-bottle 11.5-ounce bottle case. Talk about shrinkflation. This is one of the most blatant ones I have ever seen. Well, I guess they're hoping that when you get a little tipsy, you won't notice. But simple math will expose this one, friends. That's why they need to make sure that Americans can't do math. The Last Pirate, which is still one of my favorite screen names, hats off to you. The Last Pirate says, I manage a department of 107 room hotel that caters to large rail companies and logistics companies. Normally we are sold out every day. Now we are running at less than 50% capacity. This is due to hiring freezes or building slowdowns. So less business people, but there's some new people around as well. Most of our business is now passerbys and transit families. The transit families are having their $200 a night rooms paid for by some entities. Because they are indoors 24/7, it's not a good sign. Where's all the money coming from to pay for these people? Others and visitors from other places who happen to have work permits now in the United States and ballots. Beth says, Southwest Ohio took my 85-year-old mother to Target. They rejected her check. They have always taken her checks in the past. After about 30 minutes, we finally were told that they no longer accept her bank's checks because they don't receive enough checks from her bank. She was so upset, she let them know that she will no longer shop there. Things are changing, aren't they? Robin in East Iowa says, I went to our local Amish discount store and see plenty on the shelves. However, the prices are all increased to the point where I hardly refer to them as discount anymore. I thank our Heavenly Father above for the preps I have, and with them have been able to help a few family friends in need. Times are getting tough for many, and it takes all they make just to get through. And if something breaks, it can be a choice between the repair or food. Things are tight, friends, right? A lot of people are struggling, and perhaps you're struggling right now. I mean, we're all feeling the pinch. We're all changing our habits. You know, you used to go out to eat, and who can afford that anymore these days, right? But the simple thing is, we must realize that though yesterday and the days before were better than they are today, we must be bracing for the fact that tomorrow and the days ahead may be much more difficult still. While a lot of you have never been to a third world country or have not had those experiences, some of you have. If you haven't, you can probably at least picture kind of some of the things that people in third world countries have to deal with on a daily basis, what their economies are like, what it's like to work, and what it's like to buy. Friends, we need to start shifting our mentality not to what we used to have, but rather remembering that we still have more than a lot of these places. We can live well if we have our expectations set to the point where we're grateful for the things that we still have, the people that we still have. And we need to start making choices that are not so much oriented about what I want to have, but what can I afford and what is going to allow me to get through today, but also store up a little bit today for tomorrow. Because tomorrow looks like it may be a good bit worse than what we're experiencing today. Please be stocking up, friends. Please be getting prepared. If you have any extra, use it for that. If you don't have any extra, think about where you can cut. Where you can cut so that you can always have a little bit extra, that you can always be putting some back. Right, friends? All right. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there. If you want to check out another video from his channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you guys over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.